No, I thought it was obviously a night we made shots. We beat a very good basketball team. You don't hang 109 on a Dana Altman team very often. But I thought our kids were very focused. I thought we did a nice job surviving without Kasparis in the first half. My hat's off to Draven Gibbs, Lawhorn, and Jake Davis. They won us the game. They were spectacular. Coming off the bench, being productive. Ben Humerkaus, I've said it many times, a great shooter. We saw that tonight. And then, the unassuming guy was Trey White. Trey was spectacular, ends up with a double-double. Guarded, rebounded, got out in transition, handled the ball. And then I thought Kylan was exceptional in terms of getting us in offense. He handled the pressure. We're a hard team to press with multiple handlers. But a night shots went in and 16 threes, and that's always a nice thing to have. But a good win, good road win against a ranked team, top 10 team, and now it's on to the next one in our West Coast swing.
What was the lead up like to tonight, just for the team? Did you feel an eruption was coming? Anything that you noticed?
We were coming off the Missouri game, and I talked a lot about just carrying over momentum for the Chicago State game. The day before Chicago State, we really made shots. We were really impressive, and I told our coaches, I said, I hope that continues, and that they felt good about where we were getting them and what we were doing. Everything in our program, I say this 100 times, is when they don't go in, we got to find a way to win. Tonight they went in, and I think that showed kind of the explosion that we could have. The paint opened up. We did a great job of finding that, but I didn't expect that, especially against them. They're a team that's beaten Alabama. They won the New Era event and have beaten quality people. So just a good night for us and a tough night for them, and Dana will have them bouncing back, and they'll be one of the top teams in the league.
You guys that come off the bench talk about how their whole thing is no letdown. When they set the tone, how is that different?
Yeah, that's a whole different level. That elevates your team like no other, and we know Draven is a gifted scorer. We saw that in a very quick spurt. I thought that Jake's hustle plays, keeping a couple balls alive, getting a couple offensive rebounds, getting a couple layups, and then all of a sudden, we see that what kind of shooter he is. We get to see that every single day. His quick release, and he did a nice job of flowing in offense and finding that. So it's an unbelievable plus. I thought Merez was just as effective in stretches as well. It doesn't show up in the stat line, but what he did defensively was very good.
Did that really inspire the starters coming out in the second half? Because they had 22 points in like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, and I thought we figured a top 10 team's going to make a run, and I felt like we had 45 points at half, and we were only up 7, and I felt like, gosh, we should be up 10, 12, 15 even, and we just jumped on it. And it was, it's not very often you force a team to call a timeout 2.5 minutes in or 2 minutes in. And, we just kept going. They cut it to 12 or 14. And I thought Bam did a great job. Hit 2 quick threes when they went under on ball screens and just kind of built it from there. And then it was a matter of getting stops and us getting out and running.
What do you think allowed Ben to see the other side of that rocky stretch and to bust out of it?
It's so hard to change programs and find comfort right away. Marcus Domas last year, first semester wasn't great. It was the Northwestern game at home that kind of got him going. It just takes. He's very cerebral. He's a perfectionist. He wants to be perfect all the time, maybe to a fault. But I think it's just now comfort. And I told him the other day, I said, I asked him how he was doing after the Chicago State game, the game that he didn't shoot. He goes, I'm waiting for him to go in. I said, well, keep shooting. because I said they're never going to go in if you don't shoot them, and I said your time is coming. But he was a guy that has found a good rhythm, and yeah, he's got deep range, and when he's making shots, he can open that floor up, and then you saw him, he could back down and get a couple of easy ones, and makes him really hard to guard.
How important has Trey been recently, just the role that he's established on this team now?
Trey's a stud. Trey's a really, really good player, right? I don't talk about him enough, but the way he guards, he's an elite finisher. His ability to isolate, play one-on-one is one of the things that really excited us about him when we took him. And again, he's a guy that does a lot of things really well, and one of those is elevate his teammates. But he's been sensational for some time now.
Dre, it seemed like bragging rights. Had some moments, just conversation. Have you seen a little more from him? Because obviously he's great in the opener against CIU again.
Yeah.
But it just seems like he's maybe come on strong.
Well, I think he's matured a lot. And the other thing, a year ago, I couldn't keep him on the floor because he fouled all the time. And there's a growth process in that. He's strong. He's really athletic. And I think he's finding his comfort level now, realizing he's sitting behind two pretty good players. And yet he can be that third guy that's equally as good. And his role, I thought, tonight was exceptional. And I thought he's been a really positive spark for us here in the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I guess with Jake, in the first half, what has he shown you? Because his play time's like ticked up a little bit.
Yeah, intangibles. He's tougher than hell. He'll fight you. He'd be a guy I wouldn't want to get in a fight with in the parking lot. But he does all the little things. He does absolutely everything I ask, which in tail leads our team and helps our team win. And I tell Jake to go to the offensive glass, and he goes every single time. He's got a nose for the ball. He's really strong. He can sit down and guard. He's a deceiving defensive player. But it's just simply taking coaching and doing it, and doing what our team needs and what we ask him. And it's not complicated. And he's gained my confidence. And I say so when you go out every day and you do your job, it makes me want to play you. And he's doing that.
Oregon's hurt people in the paint. Obviously got to the line a lot. You guys made it tough for them to score at the rim. What did it say about your defense to stand up like they did inside? Yeah,
I think they're number one in power conference basketball in terms of post-ups and isolations. And, we were going to give some of their bigs some jump shots. It was Biddle's tremendous. He's been as good a player as there is. He's a high-usage guy. But let's not forget, Tommy's 7'1", and Merez is 260. There's a lot of bodies in there. And I thought the most important part of that was the job our perimeter guys did in terms of pressure. We got some deflections. You saw Kasparis in the first half get out and get a couple of runouts. Because we had great ball pressure, and we took some passing lanes away. But it's a team effort when that happens. But I thought we did a good job taking, especially Bamba, taking his post-up stuff away because he's been very effective.
I'm not sure how much you care about this, but 109 was the most ever scored by an opposing team here. 32 points is the most against the top 10 team on the road for anyone ever. Can you just say something about this team that could go out and do something like that?
Oh, as soon as I say something, then we'll have a stinker. But I don't want to do that. But you take every game for what it is. Tonight was our night. You have a few of those every year, and to do it against the 9th ranked team in the country, was a positive. But I don't make too much out of it. It's not the margin. We just made shots, truthfully, and I thought we did things defensively to go along with that. But yeah, it's nice to say that, and it'll be nice to talk about it. But right now is not it. It's going to be a long night, just getting prepared for Washington, who I just found out beat Maryland. So we didn't come here to win one; we got to win two, and we just beat a good basketball team. It'll be one of the top teams in our conference.
You said
This will be the last one here.
Big Ten Media Day, you couldn't guard a junior high team. You guys are right now top 10 in defensive efficiency. What's that process been like?
Consistency from our coaches, understanding from our defense, from our players, understanding what we're trying to do. We're blessed as coaches because this team is a great talking team. They want to communicate. We've got a maturity with Kylan. We've got a maturity with Trey. And then we've got two bigs, especially Tommy and that are mature beyond their years, and Merez, so mature in their communication. You don't get that good that early if you don't talk and communicate, and then everybody's bought in. And so our coaches have done a great job of scheming, putting plans together, not guarding certain guys as much, but that's the one thing that has to travel for us. And we keep harping that. That's our culture. Is you don't go on the road and beat Oregon if you don't guard, and that's throughout all of Big Ten play.